Let's continue with our second micro habit, staying mentally alert. Mental alertness is something that is very important in terms of making decisions. It will impact our decision making ability. You don't have to be in a leadership role to make decisions. As individuals, we all make several decisions right from the time we wake up, or the conscious decision that we make. Like you might have already decided to drink more water from what we discussed from staying physically fit. So mental alertness also at times will impact not just our decision making, but will also help us stay active. And you might have felt a little foggy, and you have lost your ability to make a good decisions because and the reason one of the reasons for that could be your mental alertness. I'm not saying you're not mentally alert, but as you improve staying mentally alert, it'll help you in improving your overall personality. So one of the downsides of having low mental alertness could be like you may have communication breakdown. So you may not be able to communicate as effectively as you should, and like I said, it could lead to some inefficient problem solving. So which is problem solving could be one of the key competencies that all of us might have in a work environment, because we are surrounded with a lot of problems. When I say problems, they could be because it would be some of the challenges that we might see as also coming from disruptions that are happening elsewhere, mostly in technology, right? So as we solve some problems for our company or for our project, so uh, ha- having low mental alertness might lead to some inefficiencies in that problem solving, which might make you and which might other people in your team might see you as less efficient in problem solving, which could lead to become unsuccessful rather than being more successful. And like I said, it might also lead to poor decision making. It will also impact your decision making at work, either as an individual or as someone who's managing a group of individuals. And the most important drawback of having low mental alertness could be the difficulty in adaptation. So when I say difficulty in adaptation, so imagine you might have traveled across the world to reach Canada, and today you're landed in a new job, and you're trying to adjust to different time zones, right? And you might be feeling some stress of settling in because you are new to a new environment, maybe to a new time zone. For example, when I came into Canada, Eastern time zone is new to me, and not just in where I live. Let's say on so some time back, I had to travel to the western part of Canada as part of my job, which is 3 hours behind the regular time that I live in. So you might have the difficulty in adjusting to these time zones as you travel across Canada, because Canada has about 5 different time zones. And on work, if you travel to any other different time zone, or you may have to wake up early to attend a meeting with the people who are living in a different time zone. So this you may have these difficulties in adjusting to these time zones because of and the reasons why you might feel sluggish could be due to lack of sleep and then stress of moving, and if you are not mentally sharp as you usually are because of these things. No? As a result, during a meeting, you may misunderstand an important task assignment, which might lead to a cascading issues. Right now, the solution you propose may not doesn't solve the problem, but your decision making is off, and it might keep you hard to keep up with uh, the the fast-paced work environment. So that now if you go back and see most of the job postings, they say that you should have experience working in fast-paced environments. So if you want to get adjusted to such environments, because most of these environments are defined as fast-paced, and they want people to cope up with that environment, the mental alertness is really really important. And not having all these might also lead to decrease in your productivity. So your employer or the business partner might see you as less productive resource than the highly productive resource. So how do we deal with uh, improving our mental alertness is by again developing micro habits, and I always try to keep it to these five simple micro habits. I don't want to over whelm you by telling you a lot of things that you can do, but let's keep simple to the five of them. So one is to have the focused work breaks. Like I said, my focus of attention is only about 90 minutes. Even in that 90 minutes, my interest may not be as high as the first 10 minutes. The last 10 minutes of 90 may not be as effective as the first 10. So what I do is, whenever, instead of making myself a rule to have a break every 90 minutes, whenever I feel to like to have a break, even during a meeting. So suppose if you are not able to concentrate and you need a short break, take a walk to a washroom and come back. So that will rejuvenate your body, and then it helps you think fast, and help the team in directing towards a common point, or put your point across as you solve the problem together. Like we discussed last time, teamwork is everything, right? And then the other thing that keeps you mentally alert is learning about different cultures. Like I call it cultural learning. So you have a lot of opportunities to learn about. You may not want to master all cultures, but 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 whatever you like, probably you want to spend a little more time, or show some interest in learning about new culture. Could be about your new work environment, or maybe about something new about a new employee on your team, or in the team next to you, or maybe you want to learn something about a new thing from your neighbor who might have come from a different part of the world. So take these opportunities to stay mentally alert, which will help you. The knowledge is power, right? So, and the third one is mindfulness. Now mindfulness is about, there are so many mindfulness techniques, but the simple ones are having the breathing exercises, focusing on one object, and breathe in, breathe out. You can do this while you are in the bus, you can do this while you are in the train, you can do this a few minutes just before the meeting that you are attending, important meeting that you are attending, either virtually or in person. You take those deep breaths, and build that mental alertness. Let the oxygen go to every part of your body, especially to your mind, calm your nerves, and help you focus, right? And other thing that you can show that you are alert in any discussion is being an active listener. You might have heard this from several people, that active listening is not selective listening. Active listening is what listening to the people whom you are talking to, either in a meeting or in a conversation. And how do you show that you are listening to them is by paraphrasing or debriefing what you have just discussed. So that is one of the greatest skills that every individual should have if you are aiming to become more successful. So because most of the time these days, all of us spend in meetings than working at a computer individually, and delivering certain tasks. So we are interacting with people, and people respect the fact that when you listen to them, when you hear them. So how do you showcase? By how do you show that you have great active listening skills or good active listening skills? By paraphrasing what the conversation is all about, and then asking right questions, leading the conversation with your questions, and then uh, sharing your ideas. That's how you can build your active listening. So practice it. So that will bring more mental alertness. So for you to be a good active listener, you should be mentally alert, because you need to hear what others are saying and try to get to their point of view as quickly as possible, and then you put your point of view across, so the other people would appreciate it. And the last one is, like I said, regular breaks. Like I take a break whenever I feel like, because I work in a creative environment. Let's say, being in an HR, I might be working on a policy, defining a new policy, and it requires a lot of thinking from different perspectives. So we make a policy that is all inclusive of many people or many cultures, and it is diverse and reflective of different workforce groups. So although I might have a timeline of doing it, my brain may not support me in focusing on the task for longer hours. So I need to take shorter breaks to make sure that I generate ideas. And one of the ways that my body generate ideas is when I have those brief walks. So now I'm combining my physical activity with my mental alertness. Now if I want to have a good idea to come out of my brain, the best thing that I prefer to do is take a short walk, either in my home or take a walk outside, enjoy the nature. So that will bring a lot of sophisticated thinking in me, and I can quickly bring. Ideally, I cannot do that when I'm in a meeting in a boardroom. I can't take a walk and come and present the idea. But for me to become more effective in a boardroom, I need to practice these micro habits on a daily basis to stay mentally alert. So to summarize, how do we keep ourselves mentally alert is by focusing on small work blocks. So again, I just want to add one point here, because you might have heard about Pomodoro. So I use that Pomodoro technique. If I want to work on something focusedly, I use that Pomodoro technique maybe for 15 minutes or 30 minutes, only focusing on one task that I am doing. So which will help me stay on the task, be effective on what I'm doing, and deliver the best out of me. So the first one is focusing on work habits, work breaks, I would say. Second one is cultural learning, to understand about people and their cultures, including the work culture or any other culture around you. The third one is the mindfulness breaks. And the fourth one is being an active listener in any conversation. And lastly, taking those regular breaks. So start practicing these to enhance your mental alertness, which will definitely boost your problem solving ability in your, not just in your work, maybe in your studies or other parts of your life. Let's continue with the third one a little while later. Thank you.